You are listening to Unravel with Natly Denise.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Hey guys, sorry I am so late today. Welcome to Nightly with Natly, a segment of Unravel with Natly Denise. I have had some really busy times lately, and today is one of them. I have been absolutely slammed with promoting this event for Childproof America. For those that are in Houston or in the Texas area, you're going to want to go to this event. This is a highly comprehensive human trafficking education summit. So I highly encourage anybody in the Texas area to please attend this. And I will put, after the stream, I will put a link to that event in my description below to get tickets. Even if you're not from the Texas area and you're willing to travel to Houston, it is worth it. So anyway, with that being said, I've been slammed getting that up and running. I'm wearing a tube top for those. I think it shows. Okay, good. All right, let's get straight to the news here because I know that I am already tardy to the party. So let's get to it. All right, let's start off with this. Federal appeals court reinstates President Biden's cocoa juice mandate for firms with 100 employees or more after legal challenges from 27 states and religious groups. Battle now goes to SCOTUS. Cheese and crackers. It's like, can we just win? Can we just have a win? Can we get a W for once? Like this 2021, up until its last moment, right? Up until its last moment, we have to have some sort of troubles or some sort of opposition, of course. So, a federal appeals court panel on Friday allowed President Joe Biden's cocoa mandate, juicing mandate for larger private companies with more than 100 employees to move ahead. The 2-1 decision by a panel of the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals reverses a decision by U.S. federal judge in a separate court that had paused the mandate nationwide. The rule of the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, was to take effect on January 4th. In a swift response, 27 businesses filed an appeal to the Supreme Court to block the mandate on late Friday. They argued that the OSHA rule could harm thousands of businesses across the industries. But of course, this is what the Biden regime wants, right? They want to interfere with small businesses in America. It's not like they've cared, all year. It's not like they've shown like they've cared. This is what they want. Lots of cows. In a swift response, so they filed an appeal to the Supreme Court. The cocoa juice requirement would apply to companies with 100 or more employees that would cover about 84 million workers. Employees who are not fully cocoa juiced would have to wear masks and be subject to weekly tests. There would be exceptions for those who work outdoors or only at home. With Friday's ruling, it's not clear when the requirement will be put into place. Republican-led states joined the conservative groups, business associations, and some individual businesses to push back against the requirement as soon as OSHA published the rules in early November. They argued that OSHA was not authorized to make an emergency rule. And I don't think they are. What are they there for again? What does OSHA do? I think it's to regulate something not to do with cocoa juice or health. I mean, that's just what? That's what I thought. Interesting. Super interesting. All right. Moving on to the next one. Let's just get a W, please. Moving on. The Los Angeles DA, George Gascon. This was in a leaked memo that recently came to surface and came to light that he was not going to prosecute juveniles accused of sexual battery, assault, and burglary under his expanded restorative justice. What does restorative justice mean? I speak on behalf of Latinos, right? Latino women, Latino men out there, men and women. Like, I still want these even okay, I'm going to speak in the realms of Latinos, right? Because I'm a Latina and I can do this, but if there's like a Latino who's been committing sexual battery and all these crimes against people and humanity, yeah, like I want this dude prosecuted. Like, I want this dude off the streets. What does this have to do with anything? Restorative justice? What does that even mean? In favor of rehabilitation, Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon is expanding a program to drop criminal proceedings against juveniles charged with a range of felonies, according to a leaked memo. The Restorative Enhanced Diversion of Youth, REDY for short, program was launched as a pilot basis last month, and Gascon is expanding it to cover a range of felony charges. According to the memo obtained by KTTV reporter Bill Milligan, yeah. Under the expansion, youth would be eligible for diversion after being charged with burglary, assault, vehicle theft, robbery, grand theft person, sexual battery, and arson, according to the memo. For those of you that are in Los Angeles, please brace, because Los Angeles, as it is, the crime has spiked. I mean, even regular residents of Los Angeles, they're like, okay, like it's scary to live here. Like, there's a lot of break-ins, burglaries, a lot of crimes that are being committed, but now even more so the youth who, I might even argue that are not as smart as those that have, like adult experience. They do stupid things. Like, I wasn't necessarily a bad kid, but I know that I made stupid decisions when I was young. Like, there's no shame in the game admitting that I wasn't as experienced, and that I made stupid decisions. And with that being said, sometimes these young people be making some really dumb decisions. So on top of the crime spiking, you're going to allow and almost reward the juveniles out on the streets that are committing crimes with not prosecuting them. Tell me how it makes sense. Tell me how it makes sense. So, they're eligible for diversion, whatever that means. A number of felonies would remain ineligible for diversion, including homicide, forcible rape, gun crimes, and crimes resulting in serious injuries. According to this policy, prosecutors in the LADA office tell me if a juvenile were to follow you home, pull a knife on you, threaten to kill you, and use force to rob you, then they are later arrested. They would be eligible for a diversion rather than a prosecution, Milligan wrote in a tweet. So this is the leaked memo right here, right in front of you. This is basically what the LADA is arguing for. Examples of some qualifying felonies. Like, imagine that. Imagine ever coming to a point of time where you can qualify felonies as a diversion. This is by intention, muchachos y muchachas. Make no mistake. These are the felonies that qualify for diversion. Quote, bunny ears, diversion. Burglary, assault without firearms or extensive injuries, vehicle theft, robbery, grand theft person, sexual battery, and arson. So let me ask you, like, this is just a genuine question because I don't know the answer. What's the difference between sexual battery and what did they call? It's ineligible for forcible rape. So sexual battery, forcible rape, like, what's the difference? You understand? What's the difference? So there's a loophole right there. They can classify what's to say that they can't classify, sexual battery, forcible rape as a sexual battery. Oh, no, that's not forcible rape. That's sexual battery. That qualifies as a diversion. Could you see them? Could you see them doing that? I could. I definitely could. Cheese and crackers. I mean, cheese and crackers to the second power. You know what I mean? Continued on. David Sachs tweets, Gascon works for the criminals, not the people. After we recall Boudin, he's next to go. The expansion of the REDY program drew outrage from critics, with venture capitalist David Sachs tweeting, Gascon works for the criminals, not the people. The district attorney's office did not immediately respond to an inquiry from dailymail.com on Friday afternoon. Gascon is a progressive prosecutor. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. He's a progressive prosecutor who has been vocal about his belief that the criminal justice system needs to focus more on intervention and rehabilitation, blasting on tough on crime policies as racist and a failure. Guys, not everything is racist, bruh. Like, not everything is racist. Some things need to be reprimanded, you know? I mean, like, this the news just makes me mad every night, and I'm trying to have a peachy attitude, but cheese and crackers, this is just so aggravating. This is a quote. Listen to this. This is what Gascon said. This program will help repair the immense harm and criminal behavior inflicts on our community by giving crime victims the opportunity to actively participate in the restorative justice process, Gascon said. Restorative justice is just a trendy approach to criminal justice that focuses on mediating between the offender and the victim as they discuss the crime, with the goal of achieving some kind of redress for the harms caused by the offense. For example, the offender could apologize to the victim or offer a return or replace stolen or damaged property. Sorry, I stole your entire thousands of dollars stereo, within your car. Here's some cheese and crackers. You forgive me, please. This is, I promise you, this is clown world. I could not see where that's not a possibility. False equivalence. I'm sorry that I stole your entire, car. Here's a gum pack. Here's a pack of gum. Spearmint. You forgive me? Officials with Gascon's office say that REDY program seeks to expand opportunities for young people to be connected with services that support their development while offering opportunities to take accountability for their actions, though a process that also supports those who have been hurt and their needs. Guys, get the hell out of here. Excuse my language. Get the hell out of here. They don't have the time or the resources to fulfill the needs of these criminals. They really don't. You want to tell me they're gonna actually sit down and assess every single criminal activity going on? Oh, you stole all this and that, and are you gonna apologize? Listen, I believe that people deserve grace, and I believe that people deserve a chance to redeem themselves, right? But there are certain things that repeat offenders or people with broken backgrounds do on an over and over again basis that should require reprimandation. You're telling me that you're going to sit down with thousands of juveniles committing these crimes and say, oh, okay, Billy Bob, you stole this entire thing. What use your words. What do you have to say about that? You think Billy Bob is just going to sit down and, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My apologies. Oops. You really think that? I think not. Eligible candidates can avoid criminal charges if they participate in programs to address the underlying issues and distribute to criminal behavior such as mental health needs or substance use, the DA's office said. So my thing is, why aren't there, if they really cared about their community, we all know, and I won't shut up about it, we all know that there is a huge problem with a particular thing called human trafficking, right? And I talk about it every night. I talk about it every single night. Human trafficking is a huge problem. So if they really truly cared about their community, why wouldn't they set forth programs to combat that issue? Why wouldn't they set forth okay, we want to take it this route, right? Why not set programs to expunge the records of expunge the records of like said like prostitutes or whatever, sex workers who get arrested in these stings. But that doesn't happen. They end up getting prosecuted. They end up getting, full charges, like almost sometimes the same as sex traffickers. But we don't offer as a society some sort of solution or restorative, redemptive process. And that actually necessitates a justice overhaul. So I could see it for like something like that, but not somebody who's like willingly able and willingly committing these crimes. No, they need to learn their lessons. Ken says, glad I live in the woods with my pit bulls, LOL. I don't blame you. I mean, I yearn for the country. I yearn for the country sometimes, or, somewhere rural and, out of the way because of things like this. I'm gonna pivot because this is making me mad. All right. Continued on. 𝘏𝘶, spelled F-A-U-X, 𝘏𝘶 says, we may need to be more restrictive, he says, but says Christmas parties can go ahead for now. Hey guys, hey, you can bake that apple pie and invite Tío Jose and Tía Lupe over. You can make those tamales together. It's fine for now, until I say so. He said for now. The cocoa czar insists that the cocoa juiced and boosted should feel comfortable at gatherings. Should feel comfortable. Although there's a lot of breakthrough cocos, breakthrough cocoa cases. There's breakthrough this and that. People falling out through the cocoa poke in the arm. But you should feel comfortable. I'm just saying. Infectious disease oh, okay. Yeah. I'm just going to say 𝘏𝘶. I'm not going to call him an expert in anything because I'm petty. Told Americans Friday that if they are cocoa juiced and have received a boosty, I'm going to call it a boosty caca. You guys know how I love to code these words because, we skirt things around here. We curb it being on these platforms. So I'm going to call the booster poke in the arm. I'm going to call it a boosty caca. And that's the name of the game, fellas. That's what I do here. So he says that if you're cocoa juiced and you received a boosty caca, that they should feel reasonably comfortable at holiday gatherings this season. But he also hedged his remarks amid the rapid spread of the Omicron. I'm going to call this the Optimus Prime variant. By the rapid spread of the Optimus Prime variant, and urged people to take masking precautions in indoor settings, while not ruling out advising more restrictive approach. If you are cocoa juiced, your family's cocoa juiced, and you have friends who are cocoa juiced, and hopefully also boosty caca'd, you could still enjoy social gathering and generally in home, 𝘏𝘶 said in an appearance in CNBC's Squawk Talk. Hey, perfect. Hey, 𝘏𝘶, perfect name for the show you're on. I'm going to highlight this. He was on a show called Squawk Talk. Perfect. That's all he does is squawk. Friday morning, when asked if people should attend holiday events, say, 𝘏𝘶, should we attend holiday events, please? Should I make tamales with my family and enjoy them without hesitation? Well, 𝘏𝘶 says, you've got to be careful when you go into large public indoor spaces where there are a lot of people there, and that's the reason you should be wearing a muzzle under those circumstances, 𝘏𝘶 said. He said that the latest data in the state of play of the cocoa should be the guide. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course he did. Of course. But you got to follow what's going on. If the counts keep going up and the test possibility keeps going up, we may need to be more restrictive, he said. But for right now, people who are cocoa juiced and boosty caca'd, should feel reasonably comfortable. The risk is never zero, that's for sure. So, I just hate the way that this has placed an effect on families. I mean, it honestly is just so sad. It is so sad. And you guys can probably relate to my example. And if you do relate to my example, please put them in the comments, the live comments. But I actually, this is so sad. This is so sad. I have a family that lives in New York, right? And you guys know the situation in New York, you know what's going on, the super measures that they're taking. So I have a fam in New York, and a couple is getting married. Sadly, I have it right here, actually. I have it right here. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. I received this, and I thought it was going to be a wedding invitation to the, oh, you can't see it. Can you see it? Is it going to, nah, it's not showing up. No, the words are not going to show up. It's not, I promise it's not just a white piece of paper. Oh, you see the writing? Okay, you can see the writing if I do this, if I tilt it like this. Okay. So the writing on this here thing says, and I thought this was going to be the wedding invitation. It says, current NYC mandates require that all guests provide proof of cocoa juiced against the 𝘏𝑗𝐿𝐴. Thank you for understanding. Bro, like, listen, look at how little these words are. Like, it's like, you can't come to the wedding. Bro, honestly, I'm just praying. I would love to go to this wedding because I love this couple very much. But I just found that very sad receiving that, because I was like so excited to see like the official invitation, and just I don't know, like it's official, you get married and all these things. I received that. It's so sad. It's so sad. And last year, in the midst of all the wildness, this was probably at the climax last year with the dramatization and the, oh my gosh, everybody, la, la, la. So last year during Thanksgiving, a family member actually, like, who is, along with this narrative here, especially last year at the height of all the panic, basically told and immediate family members, you can come over. He hosting Christmas, said, you guys can come over, but with precaution, I would just like to make sure that everybody is safe. And so I would like you all to get tested. And we were like, and when I say we, it was like me and another family member who are like, like this, you know what I mean? We were just like, I don't think so. And what happens if we don't? Like, what? We're not allowed in your house? And we stood our ground and we were let in. But, apparently the threat was, well, if you don't do it, you got to wear a mask inside my house. Like, what? What? I'm so, like, we have got to stick and then and then wear the mask. No, we're not going to do any of that. It's so sad. It's sad that this happens around the holidays. Like, how divisive. I like saying divisive instead of divisive. It's so sad. Gosh, it's sad. But yeah, receiving this in the mail today, I was like, wedding invitation, yay, finally, woo. And then it was like in little words, New York City says you have to get poked in the arm and we need proof, or you can't watch our nuptials. Sorry. Sucks, but yeah, not gonna happen. Not with me, at least. All right. Let me show you guys this. White House cocoa videos with Jonas Brothers, Pentatonix, Stun and Nepal Twitter. Guys, okay, I'm actually going to react to this because I haven't seen this yet, but I did see it circulating without the sound, so I am actually interested. The Biden administration thought it would be a good idea to use Pentatonix. You guys know who Pentatonix is? They're like the a cappella group. They usually post or they publish like these really beautiful ballads and like, you know, these beautiful songs, and in unison they're singing and it's beautiful. It sounds like angels just, you know, graced your room and stuff. So anyway, the Biden administration utilized this group, and of course they make this cheesy song wanting you to get your juice and wanting you to get your boosty caca. The Biden administration thought, and this is coming from the New York Post, the Biden administration thought it would be a good idea to use Pentatonix to urge Americans to get the boosty caca shots as cocoa cases rise due to the Optimus Prime variant. A glance at social media Friday should have told them otherwise. The White House shared a video on Twitter of Pentatonix, an a cappella singing group that won the third season of NBC's The Sing Off, belting out a short jingle about boosty cacas. This is the lyrics. "We can't shout, 'Get your boosty caca' from the rooftops of the White House, so we asked PTX official to do us one better." The official White House account captioned the video, "Find a boosty caca or a cocoa juice appointment near you." Oh, get your boosty caca, just like a seat for a little kid, just like the heat from a rocket ship. Sometimes all you need is a booster, the group sang in the 18-second clip. Oh gosh, dude, come on, don't ruin Pentatonix for me. The response on Twitter was immediate, with many asking who the target audience was and other expressing horror at the twee messaging. "This may legitimately be the worst tweet ever on multiple levels," says one user. "Cocoa juice propaganda is the absolute worst genre of the music ever created." So here we go. Let's react. Get your booster. 1, 2, 3. Just like a sleep for a little bit. Just like the heat from a rocket ship. Sometimes all you need is a booster. I mean, I like her dress. You know, I could say that. I like her. I love her dress. Oh. Let's take a look at the replies. Congratulations. That was one of the stupidest things that I've ever seen anybody post on the internet before. Hilarious. Congratulations. The bar is high because people post lots and lots of stupid things, but your stupid thing was somehow the leader of the pack. Freaking hilarious. But yeah, a lot of people are responding to that in, you know, unconventional for the White Houses to say. One person said, "I wish to be fully poked in the arm against cringe." Half an hour after the White House tweeted this Pentatonix video, the Jonas Brothers and the Disney boosted a pop rock band of the brothers Kevin, Joe, and Nick posted a TikTok video filmed at the White House. The 16-second clip showed the brothers lip syncing to the viral Side Talk video, in which Coney Islanders talk about President Biden, or in this case, Byron. Okay, here we go. Sorry, more cringe. More cringe. More cringe. Sorry, more cringe, but you got to see it. It's what I'm here for. I'm doing a service for you. I'm here with you. I'm your sister. I'm going through it with you. All right, take two.
Bing bong. Are you vaccinated? Yes, sir. Hey, yep. Who's the president, man? Who's the president? Byron. Who's the president? Byron. Do you want to tell Joe Biden right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Do we get it?
We got it.
Oh, no.
Bing bong.
No. Ew. At the end of the video, Kevin Jonas in his voice said, "All right, did we get it?" And it's Biden. Oh, gosh. Anyway, that's all you got to know. Sorry. Put you through it. I put you through it. All right. Let's pivot. Okay. Let's pivot. All right. Kenneth Copeland. You guys know him as this evangelical pastor who needs a private plane. He's been recorded. There's videographic evidence that he is requiring a private plane and that Jesus told him so. This was like legit something that he claims. Jesus told him he needed a private plane. Kenneth Copeland, wealthiest U.S. pastor, lives on a $7 million tax-free estate. That's right. Considered one of the most, by the way, this is not Christianity, guys. Sorry. This is not, this is, I don't care what anybody says. I might snatch some wigs saying this. But this is not Christian-like. It's not. Why not give $7 million out to sex trafficking ministries? I mean, anti-sex trafficking ministries. Why not give it to $7 million to, feed the homeless, build shelters, build more safe houses, build more survivor beds? Okay, like that's what, God willing, like if God blesses me in that way, this is what, and you guys can refer back to this video. Save this video link, because in the future, like if something happens and like I get really blessed, that's what I would want to do with my money. And I've been practicing the discipline of tithing, so I'm disciplined in giving money away, the very little that I have. And so with that being said, if I ever get blessed to that point, I want you guys to hold me accountable and just witness. I would rather give out more money building out shelters and safe houses and resources, buying food, buying healthcare, buying counseling services and whatever, any therapy for sex traffic survivors, more houses, more shelter spaces, than to keep it all for myself. That's a sad life. When you live up to a point where you can just buy everything, like that's a sad life. Like, and not to say that I wouldn't like to enjoy my money, right? That's not what I'm saying, because that, you should be able to enjoy your money, but you should not you shouldn't store all your treasures here on earth. That's biblical, And that's not to say you can't live in luxury either. You can still live in luxury and give a lot away. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Like, I would love to be blessed that way. That's not to say I can't enjoy my money, but I would give out a lot of money out. This is not the way to do it. Or I'm sorry, I'm pointing the wrong way. This is not the way to do it. It's not. So get back to the story. Considered the wealthiest pastor in America, this is coming from the New York Post, with an alleged estimate net worth of $760 million buckaroos, televangelist Kenneth Copeland is in hot water after an extensive investigation by the Houston Chronicle revealed how he was been living on a tax-free mega mansion worth $7 million and paid for by Texas taxpayers freely. Oh, even more so, I should be pissed. I'm in Texas, by the way. The 85-year-old pastor's house spans 18,000 square feet and is made up of 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, located on an exclusive lake community outside Fort Worth, Texas. The luxury pad, Copeland's primary residence, is situated on 1 acre and surrounded by a 24-acre lakefront tract, which is valued extraordinarily low at $125,000, according to the Chronicle. Because of the low value, Copeland's Eagle Mountain International Church, which Copeland founded in 1967 and which technically owns a home, pays less than $3,000 a year in property taxes. Imagine that. Records show the value is agreed upon by the Tarrant Appraisal District in Fort Worth as part of a dispute resolution agreed by the church. But real estate experts say that the waterfront property in an open market should actually sell for millions of dollars. Because Copeland claimed the mansion as a clergy residence, the home qualified for a 100% tax break. Without the break, Copeland would otherwise have an annual property tax exceeding $150,000, which, by the way, he could, with as much money as he's valued, he's almost a billionaire. What? This is his property right here. This is his mega mansion. This is his property. The founder of the self-titled Christian organization, Kenneth Copeland Ministries, the thrice married pastor, previously stated that when people drive by his house, they will know there is a God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, forgive him. Forgive him. Forgive him. My gosh. According to a speech he gave in a 2015 Southwest Believers Convention in Fort Worth. Okay, that's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam, sir. No, ma'am, Pam. No, ma'am, Pam. No. Nope. Nope, can't do it. All right, let's pivot. Can't do it. All right. Let's pivot here. Doot. Right, so we're switching to the Daily TrafficK, where I bring you the latest in human and sex trafficking news. This is the trafficking report. This is very interesting. This is coming from Reuters, too. Reuters reported this. A lawsuit accuses Washington area police of involvement in sex trafficking ring. A woman has accused 2 former members of a Virginia police department of sexually assaulting her as a part deal to protect the leader of a human trafficking ring, according to a lawsuit filed Thursday night. The woman, who is referred to only as Jane Doe because she is the trafficking victim, alleges that the Fairfax County, Virginia Police Department, including its former chief, Edwin Rossler, knew that some officers were possibly participating in and protecting the ring, but allowed the officers to retire with full pensions rather than prosecute them. Rossler did not respond to requests for comment sent to his LinkedIn profile or email. A spokesperson for the Washington, D.C. area Fairfax County Police Department said that the department was handling other matters that did not have any immediate comment on the lawsuit. Of course you don't. Washington, D.C., and you have nothing to comment on a sex trafficking lawsuit? Interesting. Interesting area, too. The lawsuit accuses 2 former officers of having sex with the trafficking victims, including the plaintiff. It also accuses 2 other former officers, Rossler and the county, of thwarting trafficking investigations. The 2 officers accused of sexual assault could not be reached by Reuters, while those accused of interfering with the investigations did not respond to LinkedIn messages. The lawsuit says that FBI was aware. Get this. I'm going to emphasize on this. Get ready. The lawsuit says the FBI was aware of the possible crimes committed by the officers after agents discovered their numbers on a cell phone used by the plaintiff and referred the matter to the Fairfax County Police. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? I am sure not. The FBI knew about this, apparently, allegedly. An FBI spokeswoman declined to comment on the specific case, but told Reuters that the Bureau takes allegations of criminal misconduct seriously. Really? Really? Did y'all take it seriously when there was a case against Dr. What's his name? Dr. Nasser for the USA gymnastics team? Did y'all take it seriously when y'all had every resource to investigate this properly and didn't? Left out certain protocols? But they take it seriously, apparently. Allegations such as these regarding law enforcement misconduct and human trafficking are promptly investigated or shared as appropriate, she said, adding that the FBI is committed to investigating possible crimes against children and human trafficking. The alleged obstruction of sex trafficking investigations by Fairfax officers occurred at the same time The county was receiving a $500,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to help such investigations. Interesting. The defendants engaged in a conspiracy to obstruct the investigation and exposure of sex trafficking taking place within Fairfax County, the lawsuit said. The plaintiff is a victim of Hazel Marie Sanchez Cerdas, a woman who ran a prostitution ring in Fairfax County, according to the lawsuit. It said that the two police officers provided protective services to Sanchez trafficking ring and that she in turn made trafficked women, including Jane Doe, available to them for sexual services gratis. Federal prosecutors said Sanchez lured women from Costa Rica and coerced them into prostitution. Sanchez pleaded guilty in 2019 to one count of interstate or foreign travel to aid in racketeering enterprises. It was ordered to serve, guess how many years? She trafficked women, exploited them, sold them, put them in the life of sex trafficking. Guess how many years she gets? 2.5 in prison. 2. The lawsuit also said that the department officials repeatedly thwarted trafficking investigations by former detective William Wolf. Officers repeatedly derided Wolf as a social worker and portrayed victims as prostitutes who voluntarily engaged in sex work, this lawsuit says. In about 2014 or 2015, the Wolf's bosses took a sudden interest in the cases and directed him to provide a telephone number from one of the victims. According to the lawsuit, the boss also became increasingly hostile toward Wolf's investigations, it said. Wolf tried to blow the whistle about his boss's actions, but officials ordered him to keep his mouth shut, the lawsuit said. Wolf left the department in 2017. He declined to comment. Oh, it's the FBI. I'm not surprised. Pivoting on to the next trafficking story. 34 children have been rescued in human trafficking bust in central Nigeria. This is coming from 𝘏𝘶𝘮𝘢𝑒𝑠.com. At least 34 children have been rescued from a local trafficking group during a law enforcement patrol by the county's anti-drug agency along a highway in the central state of Kogi, authorities said on Friday. In a statement, Baba Femi, a spokesperson for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, said the victims in two buses were on their way from the southwest state of Ogun in Abuja, the country's capital. They were rescued in the early hours of Thursday by the NDLEA operatives along the 𝘥𝑰𝐻𝐿𝑜𝐻𝑜 expressway in Kogi. The children between the ages of 8 and 14 were initially trafficked from central Nigeria's Plateau State by the local human trafficking syndicate in Ogun, where they were distributed to different households as domestic servants, said Baba Femi. He said the investigation found that the children were discovered to have served for 2 years without payment. Onyinye Johnson, an officer for UNHCR in Nigeria, said that the event to commemorate the 2021 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons held in Benin City, South Nigeria in late July, that Nigeria remains a country of origin, transit, and destination for human trafficking. Driven by the demand for cheap labor and commercial sex, trafficking rings across borders and within countries capitalized on economic, social, and political vulnerabilities to exploit their victims, Johnson said. Oh, I hate it. Children being used as labor forces, and that's another side to trafficking, the labor. It's not just sexual exploitation, although I would bet that they also exploit these children in that dark way as well. All right. Moving on to local12.com. A North Kentucky attorney sentenced to prison for human trafficking. A Northern Kentucky attorney has been sentenced to human trafficking charges. Robert Poole, 53, pled guilty in October on 5 counts of promoting human trafficking commercial sex activity. His arrest grew out of a human trafficking case involving former Campbell County District Judge Tim Nolan, who is now serving 20 years in prison. The men preyed on women who were addicts. Poole was sentenced to 8 years in prison with 5 years suspended. A 10-year protective order was put in place for 9 of his victims. He must also pay $40,000 in human trafficking victims fund. He's also to be sentenced in Boone County in January on 2 counts of promoting human trafficking. That's right. And that just goes to show you guys that this happens. This is done by every single walk of life. Does not matter how rich or poor you are, what area you grew up in, what area you're from, what profession you have. Everybody is implicated in the dark world of trafficking. It's by every race. It's by every gender. It's by every profession, even the most noble profession. There are dark people in every single industry, and they do this. And it's just evident sometimes when they get caught. Anyway. Whew, you guys, this has been some news this week, and I will be back with more news on Monday. I love you guys. I pray that you guys have a wonderful, safe weekend. And yes, I pray. And yes, I am a Bible-believing Christian. There is a God. I see some comments in my chat. There is a God. Yes, indeed, there is. And although there are some dark offenses in this world, this is committed by man. This is committed by man. And without the dichotomy of good and bad, God cannot show his glory. So there are situations that unfortunately are prevailed in our society, and they are absolutely caused by man. So we must not blame it on God. We must recognize that this is the doing by man. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I am going to try to sleep in tomorrow because I've been working my booty off all week. I love you. You guys have a wonderful day and night. Rest easy. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Unravel with Natly Denise. Please give this podcast 5 stars.